Have you ever been yelled at by your manager or by your seniors for things that you have no clue about or you're not directly responsible? But at that time, you were completely tongue tied. You had no idea what is going on. 3 hours later, you would realize, why was I quiet? Why didn't I give this reply? I should have said that. Why did I tolerate? Now, can I go back and talk or share my opinion, share my truth? And by the time you realize what is even happening, everything would have been done and dusted, and you would remember that forever, even after leaving that organization. That would be a trauma inside you. Now, today, I'm going to teach you how to demand or command your respect without raising your voice. And I'm going to teach you how to handle those situations which is bombarding at you when you least expect them. Most of the time at work or even in our personal life, we receive emotions that we don't deserve. And we try to interpret as, what did I even do wrong? And how is it my fault? But it's okay. What can I do right now? Let me be okay with that. Let me tolerate that. And that is not exactly is helping you. Being okay with that or being quiet is not helping you. Just a month back, it was the first shower, monsoon shower, and all of a sudden the drainage got clogged. I immediately called my house owner and informed the situation. He rushed to the spot, and it took around 3.5 hours for him to completely declog the drainage line. I really appreciated his work. I thanked him, and he left. I was expecting that he would inform me about the charges or the procedures, which he didn't, and I deliberately didn't ask him as well. He left. 10 minutes later, he called me and he started yelling at me, saying that just a year ago we cleaned the entire drainage. How could this happen? And isn't it your responsibility? Don't you think that you should take care? How is it even happening? Uh, can I keep coming at your beck and call? I'm also a human being. If I hire an external worker, he would charge a humongous amount. I can't do this for free. His tone was extremely disrespectful, threatening, intimidating. And my first response, reaction, I kept my, I kept quiet. My first reaction inside me was, oh my God, he's angry. I might have done something wrong. Now I'm scared. And then for a second, I closed my eyes. I asked myself, what went wrong? Why is he angry? And how can I help? Or what should I do? That completely turned the response that I shared after that. Once he is done with screaming, I just asked him, Sir, may I know why are you so worked up? I was actually expecting that you would be sharing the charges, but I know, and I'm extremely grateful that you came immediately, you solved the problem. I know it is difficult. I know if we hire an external, if we outsource it, we have to pay, and I'm happy to pay. All I need is, please tell me what is the procedure. And um, these drainage clogs, I have no idea how to take care. Well, inside the entire inside my home, everything is properly sealed with the the drainage thing. So I don't see a reason for your emotions. So kindly help me understand, how can I take care of it further, and what are the charges? I'm happy to pay. And I'm extremely grateful for your service today. I know it is difficult, and that's why I respect you. Now, my response completely turned his emotions. He lowered his tone. He softened the his voice, and he started defending himself, saying that, no, I didn't mean that you did it. I just wanted to inform that I collected a lot of clots clogging the drainage and we need to take care. And I reiterated, saying that, yes, exactly, sir, I understand the concern. You just have to tell me the procedure on how to take care, because entire bathroom and the sink and everything is completely properly sealed. There are no chances, without my knowledge, anything that would clog might get in. So please tell me the procedures. And I'm happy to pay. The next response that he gave, again, he started defending. His tone lowered further. His voice softened further. And he said that, thank you for understanding, and I'm happy to help. Now, this entire situation, if you see, yes, all of a sudden he called me and he started screaming at me. And my first response was, I got threatened and scared. And I have faced these kind of issues previously, and all the previous situations, I used to feel that it's my mistake. And after learning communication, I learned that even though it is my mistake, I didn't do it deliberately. First of all, it's not my mistake. By any chance, even if it is mine, I didn't do it deliberately. So all I need to do is I need to ask myself, what is happening right now? He is angry. So if he's angry, he's emotionally agitated. It doesn't mean that it's my fault. So I understood the situation first. So the first step is you need to appraise the situation, understand the situation. The second step, you need to label the situation. What is happening right now? He is emotionally agitated. He is angry. He's screaming. What should I do right now? I should understand what is the situation and how can I help? What is my role in that? So you don't have to take responsibility for their emotions. Their emotions are not your responsibility. Number three, I self-distanced myself. He's not yelling at me. He's yelling because he thinks that maybe I could be the reason. And that may not be true. In my case, it's not true. So I distanced myself. I just told myself that he's not yelling at me and I don't have to absorb his emotion. So what happens most of the time when we get yelled at, personally, in private or in public, when we get yelled at, it doesn't just stop it doesn't just stop with someone yelling at us. It also includes multiple interpretations. What will others think of me? How will I show my face again? What will I do right now? How am I going to deal with this? It creates a long lasting trauma. And all of these things are happening because we are attaching ourselves with their emotions. So self distancing is the right thing. Just because they're angry doesn't mean that you are at fault. Then conflict rehearsal. Had it been the first time, or had it been the situation before learning communication or before handling all of these difficult situations, I would have curled up in a hole and I would have felt like I wouldn't have been able to face him ever again. I would have always, every single time when I face him, the fact that he yelled at me would come in front of me and I would be very scared. But just because I've learned the process of effective communication, where you take the situation under control, I rehearsed conflict management. This is called as conflict rehearsal. I expected the situation. I expected him to charge me. I expected him to be a slightly little emotional, agitated. And I didn't prepare my script. I didn't say that, oh, if he says that, I will say that. No, I prepared myself. I just told myself that it's not my fault. And if he wants me to pay up, I'm happy to do so because he did the hard work and I need his service. And I also looked at from his perspective that it is not that easy to come and do all of these work often, especially without any charge. So I expected what to happen. I prepared myself, which is conflict rehearsal. And then that helped me to control my emotions when emotional agitation happened, helped me to prepare my mindset, regulate whatever I'm going through, keep my composure, and use my communication skills that I've learned. Because communication skills, you will be able to see that what's your level of communication skill only when you are not prepared. Only when you face situations when you're not prepared. At that time, how do you handle those situations teaches you a lot about your strengths in communication or effective communication. Finally, just because we are talking about de-escalating, someone yelled at me and I handled it, it doesn't mean that we have to put up with all the workplace incivility. When we get bullied or harassed, or when someone is charging at us without any reason, it doesn't mean that we should be okay with that. I'm just teaching you how to de-escalate the situation, handle it in better way, it where you don't shout because they shout, or you don't feel bad because they shout, or you don't uh, you don't feel that you're not worthy because they shout. You distance yourself, face the situation as the challenge or as the problem, handle it professionally. And that is exactly what we are learning right now. So, in order to master this entire process and the mindset, I call this as a pause framework. The first thing that you need to know is you need to pause. When something unexpected happens, you need to take a 2-second pause to understand the situation before even you react or respond. The second one is your acknowledgement. When the situation is getting escalated, you need to acknowledge the situation. Acknowledge that the other person is emotionally agitated or angry. Acknowledge that there could be something went wrong. Acknowledge that you're happy to help. Acknowledge the situation. And then understand. Try to understand what is the real challenge by asking questions like, can you tell me what exactly you would like me to do differently? And this makes you as a partner in solving the problem and not as an opponent where they can just dump their emotions on you. And then state your position. I understand I wasn't aware of that procedure. Please explain it to me and I'll follow it. Or I understand the concern. I need to clarify just one thing. May I know what could be the next step for me in order to make sure that this doesn't happen? So you need to state your position. You need to inform that you understand and you're there to work together to solve the problem. And then exit with an action plan. Confirm. So the next step in the process is so and so. I'll take care of that, and I would like you to kindly take care of this. Now, in that way, you are playing as a team and not as two different individuals who cannot see face to face. Now, this will not happen once. You need to rehearse it over and over again because you never know when you will get ambushed. You never know when you will get bombarded with these kind of situations. And for me, it didn't happen all at once or immediately after knowing, oh, this is how I need to respond. First of all, the very fact that you are aware of the situation, labeling them, and knowing how to respond helps you cross 50% of the well. And the second thing is you practicing it, practicing your words, practicing your breath, practicing your emotion. And that's when you are put into the situation, you will be able to access all of your communicational skills with ease, where the other party have no other way but to respond in a calm and composed way, soften their voice, and respect you. Now, if you want to learn more, I'd like to invite you to a month-long cohort live cohort where we teach you exactly this. First, we help you understand what's your communication style. We help you speak in structure. We help you give effective feedback, and we also help you how to receive feedback. We help you manage conflicts, and we help you become your most confident version when you speak in a meeting. And if you feel you had enough of everyone's emotion which you don't deserve, you had enough of staying invisible, and you want to raise above, then this is for you. Just type speak in the comments. I'll share the rest of the details with you.